Hello, hello, hello. Who's with me? Hello. Are we having fun yet? Y'all ready for some vampires? Hey, Craig. How are you, sweetheart? You snuck in here tonight. He'd buy you some headphones. Hey, Teddy. How are you, my darling? Hey, Teddy. Do you have the Kindle app on your phone or do you read all hard books? Getting some writing done. Yeah, I got to do some editing. I'm not getting my editing done like I need to. I'll work on that this weekend, though. Who knows? Maybe I can knock the book I got out this weekend. That'd be nice. Craig, did y'all have a lot of damage down there from the hurricanes? I know I've spoke with a lot of stores, and they were talking about some damage down there. I got through eating supper and I'm sleepy now. Y'all can talk. Don't matter. About 4 more minutes before I start reading. See you. Bye. Have a good one. Hey, Maria. How are you? Is this your first time in here? I don't know that I remember you, but nice to meet you. Yay! I like newbies. My cheerleading crew is not present yet. I got one that had a family emergency, and the other one is working, so I don't know if she'll be able to come in or not. Hello, Connie. How are you? Welcome to the crazy house. Miss Connie, have I seen you in here before? Or are you new to me too? Are y'all friends of Ravens or fans of Ravens or just dropping in because you saw it? Trying to find out where everybody's hearing about me, and I'm glad they are. All right. Raven's a sweetheart. A crazy sweetheart, but she's a sweetheart. I like Miss Raven. She's a nut. But she's wonderful. Yay! Have you guys read tonight's book? Okay, I thought I had seen your name before, Connie, but I wasn't sure. And if I sleep and I don't see anything on a regular basis and I go to sleep, I'm probably going to forget it because I just deal with too many names and too many people and all that every day. So names and stuff tend to run. You've read it? Well, hopefully I can make it come to life. There's my Audrey. There's one of my cheerleaders. Don't know. She's your author. Where's she at? I ain't heard from her. What time was her? Didn't she have a spot in the Carly's group? What time was it? You didn't double book her too, did you? Oh my goodness. Oh. There she be. There's the queen. The queen is here. The queen is in the house. Did she double book you too? Because she did that to Raimi. She double booked her. And here I created some more jobs for her today. Oh well, I guess I'll have to find me a new PA. Yes, the queen has spoken. Off with Nina's head. Alrighty, y'all about ready to get started? Thank you. You guys don't want to see what's underneath it. I'm going tomorrow to get my hair cut, y'all. So, and then hopefully Saturday or Friday. I won't be tomorrow night. Hopefully Saturday I'll get it colored. I mean, we have to keep up with Nina's head so much, Miss Connie. It won't ever sit right on her shoulders again. All right, y'all ready to get started here? Miss Raven will be in and out, so we'll go ahead and get started. So here's the cover. Closed eyes open. G means Georgia because I am a huge fan of the University of Georgia, but thank you. Thank you that you think it means gorgeous because, yeah. Nah, okay. All righty. Let me read a little quote here. Dreams are dreams with your eyes closed, but live your dreams with your eyes open by Eric Colley. I'm going to have to use these, y'all, so I'll sit too close today. I got to lean. All right. Chapter 1. Beginnings end. Closed eyes. We are only as blind as we want to be. By Maya Angelou. Serena Timmons looked at the clock on the wall and got angrier by the minute. She was dressed in a sexy black and yellow dress that looked as if it had been sprayed on. Yes, it was just that tight, but Serena had a body that complemented the dress even more. Serena was a knockout, kind of like me, you know. She'd inherited her mother's deep Cuban complexion and her father's classic European features, yet Serena possessed a beauty all her own. The problem is, she didn't think so. She'd always been insecure about her thick, luscious body and less than perfect features. Serena tossed her auburn streaked hair over her shoulders as she once again glanced at the clock on the wall. Sucking her teeth in disgust, she rose from the couch. Taking long strides to reach the bay window, she looked up and down the neighboring street, but all was quiet. Shit, really, Gabe? She shouted out loud. Picking up her cell phone, she punched Gabe's number in again. Serena listened as the phone rang numerous times. Serena rolled her big brown eyes when Gabe's answer machine came on for the umpteenth time. She debated whether to leave another message or just hang up. Out of sheer habit, she said, Gabe, come on, where are you? Call me when you get this. Trying not to sound as mad as she was and trust and believe she was mad as hell, it took a lot to keep her voice under control. Another hour passed as she watched one of her favorite television programs, yet the moment the show ended, she was back feeling like a caged animal. Serena paced the floor as scenario after scenario played in her head. Against her better judgment, she called Gabe's number again, and just like before, she got his answer machine. Serena poured herself a shot of tequila and began to think. Perhaps Gabe was in an accident. He could have been shot, stabbed, or even killed. Serena jumped when her phone rang. It was Gabe's ringtone. She needed a second to calm down before talking to him. Taking a deep breath, she answered on the fourth ring. She'd gone from mad to worried, then scared in a matter of hours. Now she was downright pissed. Hello? She said, placing the call on speakerphone as her hands rested on her widely shaped hips. Too angry to say anything besides hello, she waited to hear his voice. She didn't want to have a big argument before going out, but she was ready if need be. Damn, baby, I'm sorry. I took a nap and forgot to set my alarm, Gabe said as he took another sip from his ice-cold beer. So, are you on your way? We're still going to the party, right? She asked, hoping he was on his way and not in the process of getting dressed. She wanted to go out. It had been over a month since they did the party scene. Plus, she wanted to meet some of Gabe's friends. She'd been looking forward to this night all week. She even kissed Mr. Carlton's ass to get an approval to purchase last season's Valentino dress, even though it was hanging in the storage room with no promise of seeing daylight. I'm sorry, not tonight. Next party, baby. I promise. I gotta go. Rick keeps beeping in, Gabe said before hanging up. Serena stared at the phone. She wanted Gabe to come over. She could have gone to his place. Anything was better than nothing. Instead, he hung up before she could suggest an alternate plan. She wanted to get out of the house. She was dressed for any occasion. They stopped going out months ago for no apparent reason. Hell, nothing is like it used to be. Lying to Serena was becoming second nature to Gabe. He didn't want to lie to her, not really, yet lately he's felt trapped, smothered, and needed to see others. He never told Serena they had an exclusive relationship. Shit, he'd just like fucking her. Now suddenly she's got this we're a couple shit going on. His plans were to go with Rick to the party. Rick told him there'd be plenty of freaks in attendance, and he had no intention of showing up with Serena. If anything, he planned on hooking up with a new beauty, a new thrill. Between Serena trying to get him to put a ring on it and his side piece Lisa trying to take Serena's place at every turn, he was due for something new. Bastard. Damn. Another Saturday night down the drain, Serena thought to herself. She poured herself another shot of tequila, then shimmied out of her dress. Serena reluctantly placed it back in the garment bag, hanging it in the back of her closet. Serena flipped through the channels while lying on the sofa. She stopped on the Hallmark Channel, but after 10 minutes of watching the romantic comedy, she changed the channel to an action-packed shoot-'em-up, wishing she was part of the action team. She'd be the kick-ass female who all the guys wanted. It wasn't long before a restless boredom hit again, and she randomly flipped through channels, landing this time on a sci-fi movie about vampires, witches, and shifters. Wishing she was a witch. A good witch like the ones on television that protect the world. Maybe fall in love with a werewolf or a vampire? Why is my life so boring? Home alone, drinking and watching TV had been her weekend ritual the last couple of months, and it was starting to make her go stir crazy. It's been a month since she and Gabe spent an entire weekend together. Oh, sure, last Friday night he showed up around 8, then left around 2, after complaining I was snoring too loud. Since then, it's been work, boys' night, or some other bullshit. Serena hated going out alone. It didn't matter if it was to parties, movies, or out to eat. She felt uncomfortable going out alone. Yeah, and that's why you don't go out anymore. She missed hanging out with the girls, especially Maria. For some reason, she and Maria drifted apart. At least that's the way she saw it. Can you guys see me okay? Just making sure. Just trying to get comfortable. I sit in this chair all day long, and then sometimes it just gets uncomfortable. However, Maria told her recently that it was because Serena got caught up in Gabe's headlights and couldn't see anything or anyone but him. She gone as far as to say that Serena was totally blinded by Gabe and that it was time she opened her eyes to the real Gabe. It was no secret that Marina didn't like Gabe, but maybe Maria is right. I've cut ties with my friends, but Gabe still has his. Serena snatched the phone off the coffee table and punched in Maria's number. She was happy when Maria answered. Hey, girl, how are you? Serena inquired jovially. Hey, Ladybug, long time no speak. I'm great. How are you? Background noise was deafening. I'm good. I thought I'd give you a call, see if you wanted to hang out tonight. Chica, I'm in AC. You're in Atlantic City? What's going on there? Serena questioned. I came down for the jazz concert and to hit the slots. Damn, I wished you'd told me. I would have ridden up with you, Serena said, disappointed as not being included and Maria not being available to go hang out with. Shit. It was on the office bulletin board for over a month. A group of us came down. I tried calling you last week, even left you messages. I also left a little note on your desk, Maria informed her. A group of us rode up. I was hoping to get you to come too. Damn, I'm sorry I missed out. Look, I'm free all next week. How about getting together? She hated the fact she missed the trip, but to be honest, she would have declined in hopes of spending time with Gabe, confirming Maria's assumptions that she's been stuck up Gabe's ass the last few months. She remembered the missed call from Maria, but she'd just had an argument with Gabe and wasn't in the mood to talk to anyone. So she cleared the call and deleted the message and forgot. Sure thing. Look, I have to go. We'll talk later. Serena felt as if everyone in the world was moving at warp speed and she was left standing still. She tried to relax as she laid across her king-size bed. She was feeling nice from the tequila and restless from being stuck in the house. Serena removed her underwear, grabbed her silver bullet vibrator from the nightstand, and began to slowly roll it across her clitoris. The vibration felt good. So good. Before she could ease it in her wet pussy, she was coming. Serena let the feeling jolt through her body as she rocked herself to completion. Serena awakened before daylight. She'd had a crazy wet dream. She dreamed she was at a party where all the guests were mixed. Mixed not by race or color, but by species. Some were vampires, humans, shifters, witches, and other creatures. She felt herself slipping into a dark pool of desire as one of the creatures made love to her. He was handsome, dangerously handsome, yet she could never make out his face. Strange, she felt danger all around her, but safe within his arms. When she'd awakened, Serena was experiencing a delightful orgasm. Chapter 2. Nicholas Stavros looked out the window. The sky was clear, but in his mind, all he could see was storms ahead as he listened to his best friend Skylar. It had been 9 months since he had left his home, family, and friends in Hafeville Valley, looking for the unknown and wanting something other than the life he had. He did what any restless man would do. He left. His father would call it running. Running from the responsibilities his family was thrusting in his face. He longed for the day he could return home on his terms. But according to Schuyler, it may be some time before he could call the manor home again. The news Schuyler brought only made him want to go home at once. However, the reality of the situation brought about the need for strategy and planning, not emotions. He could visualize the things Schuyler spoke of, and in his heart, he knew he needed time to plan. I hate bringing you bad news, Nico. I made several detours and stops before coming here, just in case. Well, just in case I was being followed, Schuyler stated. Tell me the truth, Schuyler. Is my father dying? Nico asked his friend and confidant of 100 years. All I know is that Duchess Demia was told by the witch Esmeralda that Duke Nikolai was poisoned. She left soon after in fear of being blamed for the deed. However, she is on our side and is working on an antidote as we speak, Schuyler announced. Who is the culprit? Nico spattered with venom. They're cloaked, my friend, whomever they may be. He shook his head dramatically before saying, Be careful, my friend. There are shadows within shadows all around. So tell me, are you still seeking a bride? Schuyler asked, changing the subject. Nico knew Schuyler was just concerned about him and his duty to reproduce. Unlike most vampires, Nico had the ability to create a life. His hybrid structure made it possible to be able to carry on his race, like his mother before him and so many other vampire werewolf hybrids. However, he was burdened with the responsibility that his vampire blood was more dominant since he had yet to transform into a wolf. Nico always shrugged it off, jokingly saying, But I have a killer bite like the wolf. Yes, it is imperative I find the right woman. Esmeralda told me I would know her when I see her, and I think I have, he smiled. The only missing piece is her willingness to be one with me, Nico said thoughtfully. I don't know why you couldn't choose a woman from Hayfield. We have a few beauties there, Schuyler stated. Anyway, it's time for me to go before I miss. Traveling at night is dangerous. Chapter 3. Sunday morning sunshine warmed Serena's face, which made her throw an arm across her eyes. Even then, the bright light made its way to her eyelids. She felt the heat on her face as the rays seeped through the blinds. She decided today would be a good day to go to church. Serena wasn't religious, however, she did believe in God. Serena was brought up to attend church every Sunday, yet it has been months since she had walked through the doors of one. Since moving to the big city, she hadn't found a church home, but then she hadn't really been looking either. True, a lot of her lifestyle would come under scrutiny from the church and, yes, God himself. But that was between her and the Lord. She trusted God's forgiveness of her sins, praying he'd look within her heart and soul and understand her human nature. Half evil. Okay. I get it now. I looked at that a few times and I was like, how many chapters am I reading? Or I'm just reading till 9 o'clock since you're back. Serena showered and dressed in a simple black and white dress suitable for church. Mom would be proud of me, but would have something to say about my not wearing stockings. Smiling as she thought of her mom, whom she believed rested in heaven with her father, Serena Googled the church up the hill from her house. She wanted to make sure the service time. She didn't want to be late. She passed the church a week ago and made a mental note to visit it one day. She hoped the minister was a teaching man who taught the word and not just the fire and brimstone type preacher. She could hear her mother saying, Go hear the word, forget about the rest. And that was exactly what she intended to do. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. The church was very bright and cheery. The ushers made Serena feel welcomed. She took notice of the diversity and races scattered about. To Serena, that meant they were not single minded and believed everyone would be welcome to fellowship there. The congregation stood when the music began to play. She found solace in the music and began to relax and sing along with the words on the large screens centered on the walls. On the wall, the atmosphere seemed to fit in with everything and everyone. Serena looked around, and to her surprise, she spotted a familiar face. She couldn't remember his name, but she'd seen him at Label magazine. He was always dressed impeccably, as if he'd stepped out of a fashion magazine. All the ladies liked him, but rumors quickly circulated that he was gay. Well, shit. I guess gay people go to church too. Good grief, Serena, don't curse in church. When the pastor asked visitors to stand, Serena felt as if she were on display. She began to focus on the speaker, which took her mind off the people whose heads had turned in her direction. She was happy when the speech, thinking all visitors had concluded and instructions then given to greet your neighbor. Taking advantage of the opportunity given, Serena made her way over to the handsome gentleman. She racked her brain for his name, however, she continued to draw a blank. Hi, I'm sorry, but your face looks so familiar, Serena said as she hugged the man, imitating the mannerisms of the congregation. Sounds like the church I grew up in. She loved the way he smelled. Hell, I liked everything about this man. He's sharper than a razor blade. Stop it! Serena, I'm Nico. We met at Label magazine, he said, smiling, giving the cleft in his chin more definition. So that's where I know you from. She laughed, trying to sound sexy. Lord, forgive me for flirting in church. And lying, I know good and damn well he works at Label. It was at that moment the announcement for everyone to return to their seats was made. Throughout the service, Serena asked God to forgive her. The Lord knew she was having a hard time following the sermon as her mind continued to drift to Nico. She remembered hearing he was gay, but something about him turned her on. Yes, that's it, Nico Harrington. The name popped in her mind, in her head. He's a freelance fashion photographer for Label magazine. He's also editor and founder of You Are What You Wear blog. Damn, he was voted one of today's young fashion icons. Yes, Serena, he's gay. It's always the fine, successful ones who are gay. Serena liked the service, well, the part she could remember. She decided she'd come back again before making a permanent decision and wondered if Nico was a visitor or a member. It didn't matter. He was out of her league in many ways. Nico wanted Serena in the worst way. Hell, he'd been watching her for the last month and a half. In his heart, he knew she was his true mate, regardless of her flaw of being a human. He listened to some of the office gossip concerning her and some useless ass boyfriend she was currently seeing. Even without that information, he could see her unhappiness. It was written in her eyes. It was her vulnerability. You authors and these big freaking words that made her even more endearing. Nico wanted to make her his. See, I have a hard time with the little words, and then you guys got to go throwing in these big words. Gracious. No, he needed to make her his own. First, he would need to know if she was worthy of what he had in mind. He wanted to know her fears, her desires, and her ability to keep a secret and live a life unfamiliar to most. Seeing her in church gave him insight to her spirituality and kind heart. He smelled her gentleness as though it were perfume. He could also smell her desire for him, which gave him the green light to pursue her. To him, seeing her today was a sign. Nico knew his lifestyle would be difficult for most women, for there was nothing simple or easy about his life. But it was time he settled down and produced an offspring. Some, especially his parents, would say he was overdue. Nico hoped to speak to Serena after the service, but he lost sight of her and decided she had left the church. Nico splashed the warm water over his face, then grabbed a fluffy towel hanging over the shower rod. Looking at his face in the mirror, he smiled, revealing his fangs. But the action didn't reach his icy blue eyes. No, the smile was laced with malice. Nico turned in time to see the demon run into the shadows of the room's corner. His speed was lightning quick, but so was Nico as he darted across the room, drawing the demon from his hiding place. "Who sent you?" Nico hissed as he lifted the demon off the floor. The demon tried unsuccessfully to break free, making indistinguishable sounds. "Who sent you? This is the last time I ask this from you," he announced, in no mood to play games. "You will know soon enough," the demon hissed as he began to laugh as if his life wasn't in danger. Nico laughed along with him, then stopped abruptly, and without ceremony, Nico snapped the demon's neck, twisting its head 180 degrees, then ripping it off its own body. He watched as it disintegrated into ashes. Nico didn't know who sent the demon and wondered how many more would be dispatched. Someone was trying to kill him, just as they tried to kill his father. Nico needed to find his father's enemy. To be brazen enough to attack the Duke was just like attacking the kingdom. Either this mysterious foe is very powerful or very stupid. Either way, he's a formidable and dangerous opponent, Nico thought. And no, I have not had anything to drink except straight lemonade. There is no vodka in it. Time was ticking. He needed to make himself ready. Regardless of how much he'd like to think of this as a random act, he knew this was only the beginning. It was evident they followed Skylar here, and he now sported a target on his back. Chapter 4. It was a typical Monday morning. Hell was breaking loose in several departments. Mr. Carlton was on a rampage. Some idiot screwed the Toby order up for the next issue. The assistant editor was barking orders to everyone because the next issue was going to be late due to the missed deadlines, but mostly because the editor was barking at her. The phones were ringing off the hook. It was like a zoo. Everyone wanted what they wanted immediately. To top it off, the donut lady was out of Serena's raspberry-filled jelly donuts. Thank God being busy was making the morning fly by. "Hey, girl, you want to have lunch together?" Maria Lee asked as she stood in the doorway to Serena's office. Maria was short with large breasts, but it seemed to be in proportion with everything else. She was wearing a short green and yellow Calvin Klein suit that looked as if it was made especially for her. Being a size 1 or 2, she fit right in with the models and some of the other staff. Only a few were what Serena called stacked, with a little more than a handful. She, of course, was one of them. Serena's rounded hips, plump ass, and thick thighs was nowhere near a 1, 2, or 3. In fact, she was kicking the shit out of a 6. If she were spanked, she might get into a 5. "Yeah, sure. I guess I fell off everyone's list. I don't know the last time I spoke to Lisa," she replied. "Let me get my purse and we can be on our way," Serena said as she grabbed her Coach bag. She knew it was a discounted outlet item, but no one else did. In her business, she had to play the part to survive. With her income discount, outlet and knockoffs were more her style. "Maybe it's better you stay clear of Lisa. That chick ain't nothing but trouble," Maria said, rolling her eyes dramatically. "Girl, you need to stop wearing so much dark drab colors. You're too pretty to let it all go to waste," Maria said, referring to Serena's dark brown suit. "And let today be the last day you carry that Coach bag too. It's a little ratty. You and I need to go shopping," she inhaled deeply, then added, "Look, there are a lot of women who would kill for your job and kill you to get it. Don't let them, chica," Maria said, shaking her finger at Serena as they walked into the bistro. "You know me. I like to stay below radar," Serena laughed, but she really didn't mean it. She just didn't know what to do about the situation and was too proud to ask for help. She wanted to do the glamour fashionista thing, but didn't think she could pull it off. Then there was her lack of funds. She was one paycheck away from an eviction. You need to develop more confidence in yourself. By the way, how are you and Gabe getting along? Maria asked, grabbing the chicken salad on display. Good, we're good, Serena said, smiling weakly. She didn't want Maria in her business. She didn't want to talk about Gabe or how she felt about his distant behavior. Good. I was a little worried about you Saturday night. You sounded a little down in the dumps. I promise from now on I'll keep you up to date with the party situation. Maria squeezed Serena's hand. Oh, by the way, Friday night, if you're free, we're all going to Ryan's pub for drinks after work, Maria added as she stabbed her fork into her chicken salad. Sounds like a plan. Even if Gabe wants to do something, it wouldn't be until around 8 or 9. The rest of the lunch talk consisted of updates about Maria's new lover and the office gossip. Maria told her she'd heard a rumor that Nico was dating the young stud in the mailroom. But I don't believe it because last week he was supposed to be screwing Jeff in accounting, she laughed. Serena didn't want to respond either way. She was going to tell her she'd ran into Jeff at a little church, but decided to keep that information to herself. She didn't like gossip. Her mother always said a dog that brings a bone will carry a bone, and she didn't want anyone accusing her of gossip. The minute she put her key in the lock, her phone rang. She dug deep in her pocketbook, trying to find it before it went to voicemail. The effort seemed hopeless until her hand wrapped around the ringing device. Hello, she said as she walked through the door. Hey, babe, you home yet? Gabe asked. Yeah, I just walked in, she replied. Serena had been calling Gabe all day. Since he didn't call her yesterday, which she didn't mind, she was in no mood to let him steal the joy she felt after church. The last thing she needed was his unsolicited bullshit. Plus, he didn't believe in attending church and always had something negative to say about those who did. I'm on my way over. Do you want me to bring some Chinese food or a pizza? He asked. He didn't give her the opportunity to say whether she wanted his company or not. Chinese is good. Give me a little time to straighten up and take a shower. Serena's timing was perfect. The minute she slipped into her yoga pants and top, the doorbell rang. When she opened the door, Gabe placed a kiss on Serena's cheek as he walked past her straight to the kitchen with the food. She didn't realize until that minute that she was hungry. Before she could remove the cartons from the bags, Gabe was kissing the back of her neck and squeezing her large round breast, making her nipples hard and tender. Damn, he had a way of making her feel good, even when she didn't want him to. Turning around, she placed her arms around his neck as her lips met his. Serena let her tongue duel with Gabe's as he held her in a tight embrace. She could feel his cock as it swelled, trapped in his tight-fitting jeans. Gabe rocked his hips against her own, grinding and rubbing her in a way that made her panties damp. Just the thought of his dick growing unabashedly caused her to grind her hips harder in response. She whispered in a hoarse voice, "The food is going to get cold." We'll put it in the microwave, he responded, as he pulled her top over her head, releasing her sun-kissed globes. Gabe kneaded Serena's breast before his tongue darted out, licking the perky nipple until she began to moan. Serena moaned again as her hands skillfully rubbed the huge bulge that had continued to grow. She loosened Gabe's belt and unbuttoned his pants, which gave her easy access to what she sought. She let her hands slowly creep down his stomach until she found his rock-hard dick. Serena took Gabe's cock out and massaged it until pre-cum glistened on the smooth, round head. Sliding down his body, she fell onto her knees. She took slow, deliberate movements before she placed his cock into her hot, awaiting mouth. Gabe gasped as she closed her mouth around his rigid cock. Damn, baby, if you make me come, you won't get what I have in store for you tonight, he said breathlessly. Serena slid her mouth up and down his shaft until he grabbed a mass of her tangled curls. It was at that point she stopped. She didn't want him to shoot his load before she felt his dick inside her. Gabe pulled Serena up off the floor, and with long strides, he pulled her into the bedroom. His hand slipped into the waistband of her yoga pants, pulling them down around her feet. Serena quickly stepped out of her pants and sashayed across the room to her bed. Seductively, she inched her way across the bed as her ass jiggled with every movement. Doggy style or missionary? She asked as she looked over her shoulder and wiggled his ass. Both, both, he growled. Serena liked watching Gabe rub his hand down the length of his dick as he placed the condom from the dresser onto his cock. She scooted backwards closer to the edge of the bed. Like a heat-seeking missile finding its target, Gabe let his cock enter her hot, waiting pussy. Damn, I love the way this man feels inside me. Shit. She sang in her head as she lifted her ass higher in the air. Gabe slapped her buttocks, which made her pump harder. Without ceremony, he grabbed Serena's hips and flipped her over, placing her legs onto his shoulder. As he re-entered her hot, juicy cunt, he said, "Talk to me, baby." Oh, you're so deep. Damn, Gabe. Serena moaned. Who do you belong to? Gabe asked. What was she supposed to say when he was pounding his dick into her pussy? The only thing she could. You, Gabe, you! She shouted from before shattering into a million pieces. Fuck, I'm here. Here I come, baby. Ugh, damn. Gabe growled as he too exploded. The two lay panting as Serena let her leg lay across Gabe's thick thigh. Hey, you're going to get cum all over my legs, he said, jumping up as if on fire. He took long strides toward the bathroom. Really? Talk about a mood killer. I don't know why I bother, Serena said to herself as she too got up to go into the bathroom. Gabe, do you have plans for Friday night? Serena asked, making sure she didn't have to rush home. That's what I was going to tell you. I'm going away this weekend and next week too. Jerry is leaving soon. You know he's going to be stationed in Japan. So all the guys are going out for our last hoorah together. I thought I'd mentioned this to you already, he said. No, I didn't even know Jerry was being deployed. You didn't mention any of this to me, Gabe, she said, narrowing her eyes back at his back. So, where are you going? Serena asked. Not sure. They said either Virginia or Myrtle Beach. Hell, all I know is it's a beach, he said in nonchalant tone. So when were you going to tell me this? Serena asked as she walked over to the tub, turning on the faucet to wash up. Deep down, she knew the answer when he left. Damn, baby, we just put the plans together, and like I said, I thought I mentioned it to you, he said as he walked across the room to where she was standing. I have a tight schedule this week, but I thought we'd hang out tonight and tomorrow. Shit, maybe even Wednesday, Gabe said as he kissed the back of her neck. Serena stared at Gabe's in her reflection in the mirror and said to herself, damn, he's fine, and we look good together. Cut the man some slack, Serena. What do you have in mind? Right now, I have that Chinese food in mind, he laughed. The night seemed to fly by as they ate, take out, made love, and watched television, but a little voice in Serena's head kept whispering, Gabe is up to something. Normally she wouldn't listen to the little voice in her head, but here lately she'd been dreading the worst. She was looking for the aha moment so she could say, I knew you were up to no good. It had been a long time since she'd been in what's called a good relationship. So long, if one sat on her chest, she wouldn't recognize it. She'd been with Gabe close to 6 months, and now she's got that. It's coming to an end feeling. Excuse me. Gabe was surprised when he looked at his phone only to see a text video from Lisa. The video showed her masturbating. Damn if it wasn't turning him on. He enjoyed watching her play with herself. Shit, he enjoyed everything about Lisa's freaky side. She was always ready to do whatever he had in mind. Gabe looked at the clock on the nightstand. The laminated light flashed 1 a.m. He'd already busted 3 nuts with Serena, the last one she swallowed. Nobody gave head like Serena. The only problem was when she did, she wanted him to reciprocate. He was debating on if he should leave or stay. However, when he saw Lisa shove the dildo up her anus, he felt the need to be that dildo. It wasn't hard to leave the sleeping Serena to go to Lisa. It was just a question of how many nuts he had left to spend. Serena wakened around 5 and found Gabe gone. She'd been knocked out and didn't hear him leave. Oh well, guess my snoring chased him away, or the comment I made about him not wanting to eat my pussy set him off. Either way, he was gone. Serena went to the bathroom. When she exited, she was startled for a second, then laughed at her own stupidity. She thought she saw a figure outside her window, but realized it was the reflection from the light coming from the bathroom. Plus, no one and nothing could scale the wall outside her house. Well, maybe a squirrel. Shaking the feeling off, she went back to bed. Nico followed Gabe when he left Serena's house. He wasn't surprised when a woman answered Gabe's knock. Nico snorted at the figure as his nostrils flared with anger and revulsion. He recognized the woman from Label magazine, which meant she was friends with Serena. Nico decided right then and there to do whatever it took to free Serena from Gabe. Shaking his head, he promised himself, I won't take his life unless it becomes necessary. Yet deep down, he hoped to do just that. Sinking his fangs into Gabe would do wonders for his disposition. Nico went back to Serena's to check on her. This had become a nightly ritual for him since seeing her in church. When he arrived at Serena's, he noticed her bed was empty. It wasn't long before she came into the room, nude and beautiful. A rush of desire filled his veins as he watched her widely shaped hips sway across the room. When she stopped, looking him straight in the eyes, he quickly flew across the lawn into the night. He felt on edge, his mood sour. The need to be with Serena was making him irritable. Nico saw a young man approaching a woman. He thought nothing of it until the man snatched the woman's purse and ran into an alley where he began to empty the contents from the woman's bag. Scum of the earth is what you are, Nico hissed as he drew nearer the crouching man. Fuck you! Get the hell out of here Before he could continue his rant, Nico had the man up against the stone wall, decorated. That's not even a hard word, y'all. Come on. Decorated with vile graffiti. He sank his fangs into his soft, awaiting neck and enjoyed the warm, metallic taste of his blood. Nico never killed his prey unless they deserved to die, and this one deserved to, but Nico decided to spare him. Instead, he drank until the thief's body became limp. Yet his heartbeat remained strong and steady. Nico felt the strength of 100 men coursing through his body as he licked the wound closed. The nourishment was exactly what he needed. Nico closed his eyes and telepathically contacted his sireling Briar. I need you to contact Skylar. Tell him that I need him right away. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, Master, but Mr. Skylar has been missing for days. Oh, let me do this. They're doing this telepathically, so I hate to be the bearer of bad news, Master, but Mr. Skylar has been missing for days. Would you like me to join you, sir? Briar would move heaven and earth for Nico. Nico saved his life over 50 years past. While hunting the wild boar, he was attacked and suffering several life-threatening wounds. Nico found him in a narrow ditch and saved him by turning him into a creature of the night. Briar's been his loyal friend and servant ever since. No one heard from him, and his body hasn't been found? Nothing, sire. There has been no trace of him. Are my parents well? The Duke is still in a coma, and the Duchess faithful by his side. The fact that Skylar was missing led Nico to believe the ones who attacked him must have accosted Skylar since he never made it home. All right, one more chapter and I'm done. Gabe, true to his word, was there the next night, and Serena was grateful for his company. She made sure she wore her prettiest negligee, even though it didn't stay on long. Honey, I've been this girl. Oh my gosh, I've been this girl. Stupid, stupid, stupid. She didn't realize how much she missed his company. However, his distant attitude and sarcastic manner dampened the mood before the night ended, as always. Serena wanted Gabe to spoil her rotten, at least take out of the house. Instead, he ordered takeout. She didn't know if it was just her being paranoid or insecure, but she had a feeling that something wasn't quite right. Serena wanted more from the relationship and had for her life. She felt as if her life were missing something great, something big, something exciting. She just wasn't sure what it was, but it was there somewhere. She prayed that her life takes a turn for the better. Wednesday hump day had finally arrived. Serena sat at her desk daydreaming until she spotted something out of place. In the corner of her eye, she noticed a white bakery box which rested on top of some files. Serena opened the nondescriptive box, looked around, then busted out laughing. There were 2 raspberry jelly donuts in the box. They were her favorites, the ones with sugar on top. She knew Mr. C would never buy her donuts, even if he knew they were her favorites. He just wasn't that thoughtful. Dialing Maria's extension, she said, "Good morning, Maria. Happy hump day to you," she laughed. "Did you leave a box with 2 jelly donuts on my desk?" Serena asked. "Nope, not me. You have no way of knowing who left them?" "Oh, shit, you must have a secret admirer," Maria whispered. "No, it's probably someone I helped or some promotional giveaway," Serena asked. "No way! I don't know of anyone else who received jelly donuts this morning." "Really, girl? You have a secret admirer," Maria said, dismissing any other possibilities. Serena didn't care one way or the other. She had a man and the donuts would be gone in a couple of minutes. "Whoever left them, I say thank you. I'll call you later," Serena said jokingly, then hung up. Serena sank her teeth into the sweet, sugary dough, letting the tangy raspberry jelly ooze onto her tongue. She knew at once they were not the cart lady's donuts. She examined the box, but it didn't hold any clues, no name or logo. The flavors and texture spoke high-end bakery, and she enjoyed every drop of it. The next day was a repeat of the day before, except this time a cup of coffee sat beside the little white box. Touching the cup to test its heat level, she realized the person had recently left the hot coffee on her desk. Serena ran to the door, looking up and down the hallway. She saw no one, and all was quiet. She even opened Mr. C's door, verifying its vacancy. Serena took the lid off and inhaled deeply. She smiled as the aroma overwhelmed her senses. It was her favorite. No way! It's vanilla cappuccino. Whoever this is knows what I like. I would say it's Gabe, but he would need a badge to have access to the office. Even then, no, it's not his style. She could ask the food truck lady, because whoever it is probably asked her what kind of coffee and donuts she liked. Or maybe they've been around the cart whenever she's bought breakfast. The phone rang, bringing Serena back to reality. "Good morning, Jack Carlton's office. This is Serena. How may I help you?" she asked cordially. "Good morning, Serena. I'm calling for an appointment. Hopefully something today. Is that a possibility?" Nico asked. I do have an appointment. I do have an opening. Who am I speaking with, please? She said. She asked sweetly. Nico Harrington, he replied. Shit, the sound of his voice made her panties damp. She felt her heart beat rapidly. She didn't know what to say. How's your coffee this morning? He asked. Coffee? My coffee? She asked. Yes, I know you like coffee with your jelly donuts. I wasn't sure about the coffee, but the other day I smelled vanilla and figured you to be a cappuccino type of girl. He laughed. His deep voice vibrated her phone. Shit, say something. Wow, thank you. I was wondering who left them. I even asked around. Thank you again, Serena whispered, feeling her cheeks heat up. By the way, it wasn't a bribe to get an appointment with Mr. C. Nico laughed, since you haven't given me one yet. Oh, I'm sorry, of course. Mr. Carlton has an opening this morning, but it's in 15 minutes, Serena announced, looking at the calendar on her screen. Lucky me, he said. Yes, due to a cancellation, Serena replied, not sure what else to say. Great. I'll see you then, he said before hanging up. Why did he say it like that, as if he was coming to see me? I know he's gay, but damn, picking one of the files up on her desk, she began to fan herself. Her face was flushed, yet she felt the heat reach another area, an area she was unable to fan. Throwing the file on her desk, she leaned her chair back and inhaled deeply, then broke out with a girly giggle. Wow, what a naughty expression you have on your face. You look like you've just been caught with your hand in the cookie jar, Lisa stated as she licked her glossy red lips. She wore a tight white and black pencil skirt with a semi-sheer white blouse. Lisa was model thin, no boobs, no ass. I just wanted to pop in to say hello. Oh, no. What? I mean, hi. Damn, it's been a while, Serena stuttered. I know. Maria told me about the lunch date, and well, sorry I missed it, Lisa said, leaning against the door frame. Same here. I'm sorry. I've just been on such a roller coaster ride these past few months, Serena said. Lisa walked over to Serena's desk and gave her a hug before grabbing her hand, saying, How's Gabe? Still going strong? She then turned her hand over and said, Thought you'd have a ring by now. Yes, well, we're still together and just taking our time before jumping into marriage. Enjoying each other, Serena explained before adding, I'm blessed to have him in my life. I guess he's the reason for that big smile on your face when I walked in, Lisa said, hoping Serena would elaborate. Girl, please, Serena said, not wanting to give anything away and trying to avoid lying. For some reason, Serena always felt Lisa was a fake, or at least not as genuine as she wanted others to believe. I know when Maria told me you were back among the living, I just assumed you and Gabe were over. She smiled, showing her perfect white teeth. Is that what Maria told you? Serena asked, a little pissed that Maria would be spreading lies and putting her name in the gossip mill. No, I just figured since she had you. No, I just figured since she said you had reached out that maybe your love life might be on the downside of things. She smiled as she hunched her shoulders. Well, you couldn't be more wrong. Things are great when Gabe and I. Serena lied. Her insecurities were nobody's business but her own. I can tell you one thing, you look great. I love you in dark colors, she said, still smiling brightly. Really? Maria told me to get rid of all my dark colors. I just haven't had time to shop, she said. No, really, you look good in dark colors. Thank you. Serena didn't trust Lisa. Something felt off. Plus, they weren't even friends. It was as if she was fishing for something. Well, I guess I've taken up enough of your time, she said before opening the box of donuts, taking the last one from the box without asking. When Lisa turned to leave, she ran right into Nico's solid chest. Oh, I'm sorry, she said as she looked Nico up and down as if he were her last meal. She licked her lips seductively as she walked around him before asking, "Have we met? I'm Lisa." "I think so, Nico Harrington," he said in a monotone. "Yes, I know you, the gay photographer," Lisa said in a dismissive tone, obviously no longer interested in Nico. "Well, talk later. Remember, dark colors work for you. You girls take it easy. Give my regards to Gabe." She took a bite of the donut before walking out the door. Talking about needing a fan. Serena didn't like the little jab she made. It was rude, prejudiced, and uncalled for, but it didn't seem to bother Nico at all. He stood there handsome as any man could be. Not only was he prompt, he was sharp as hell in a designer suit that looked like it was tailor made. Damn, he smells great too. Clean and manly, Serena said to herself before letting the little flirt out. "You look very handsome today," she said, wondering why she was bothering to engage him in such a way. "And here I thought I looked good every day," he laughed. "I'm just kidding. Thank you, and may I add, you look lovely yourself, and dark colors do nothing for you." "Well, my friend seems to think differently, and who is he to give me fashion tips?" "Ah, stupid, he's a fashion expert, unlike Lisa. Plus, Maria said the same thing." Serena tried to redeem herself. "Mr. Carlton is still on the phone, but he should be off soon," Serena announced, changing the tone in her voice. "Good. It gives us a few minutes to talk, unless you're too busy." "No, I'm not too busy," she said nervously. "Good. Like I was saying, brown does nothing for you. Neither does that style of clothing." Serena walked around Nico with a pile of folders in her hand, placing them on the filing cabinet as she pretended to ignore his last statement. "You have a great body. You need to showcase it a little more," he said, letting his eyes roam up and down her beautiful body. "Stop!" Serena shouted before laughing. She knew her cheeks were flushed from embarrassment. She didn't know why, but Nico made her feel at ease, not to mention she found him charming, sexy, and funny. "So, you're a fashion expert?" she asked. "Yeah. Oh, yes, dumbass he is. Pretty much, yes." "Oh, before I forget, I brought you a little gift." Oh, that's him. "Oh, before I forget, I brought you a little gift," he said as he handed her a small white box. Serena never noticed the box in his hand. "For me?" she inquired. She smiled. She knew what was in the box. "I thought you'd like to take them home with you," he laughed when she opened the box. The box contained 6 jelly donuts, 2 with powdered sugar, and then 4 with sugar crystals. Serena joined Nico in laughter. "What's with the 2 powder donuts?" "I like the powder ones. Figured you'd give them a try." "You said for me to take home." "Ha! I'm eating one now," she laughed as she sank her teeth in the soft, sugary dough. This is definitely not from the cart lady," she whispered, more to herself than to Nico. Not only was the donut delicious, so was Nico. Before Nico could say anything, Mr. Carlton's door opened. The tall, heavy-set man stood in the doorway and bellowed in a humorous tone, "Nico, get your ass in here. I don't have all day, you know." "On my way, sir," Nico replied, giving Serena a wink that sent a shiver down her spine. Oh, God, I love the wink. Serena continued to file the folders on her desk. She periodically checked the clock on the wall, wondering what was going on behind the closed door. She hadn't realized Nico was on such good terms with Mr. Carlton. Of course, they'd been on short conference calls together with other members, yet she couldn't remember if they'd met. However, 42 minutes later, Nico exited Mr. Carlton's office. The two were laughing, something she rarely saw Mr. C do. Mr. Carlton I gotta hurry up and finish this one. We're done. Went over. Mr. Carlton said in an almost calming voice, I'll let Nico fill you in on our meeting, Serena. He shook Nico's hand. Give him anything and everything he wants. I want you to work closely with him and report to me on the progress. Before Serena could respond, the door closed with a loud thud. Nico gave Serena a smile that made her think she'd become part of an inside joke. Care to explain? Serena asked as she arched a newly shaped eyebrow. Later. Right now, I need to know if you're free for lunch. Serena caught a whiff of Nico's cologne. Damn, he smells good enough to eat. Focus, girl. Serena cocked her head to the side and asked, You brought me donuts. Now you want to buy me lunch? Not lunch. I thought we could share a sandwich in my studio. I have something I want to show you, Nico said in a secretive way that piqued Serena's curiosity. Like what? She asked inquisitively. Are you free or not? Say around 12:30? Yes, I'll meet you in the lobby by the main elevator. Not necessary. Just come to the 14th floor. Funny, she'd never been higher than the 10th floor, which is the floor she was now on. The upper levels held offices for photo shoots, storage, and boardrooms. It's a date, Serena smiled as Nico tipped his invisible hat as he left her office. When Maria called about lunch, she hated to bow out, but it was too late to back out with Nico. I'm sorry. I have plans. Can I get a rain check? Girl, I thought you said you and Gabe were on the outs. My lunch date isn't with Gabe, and I didn't tell you Gabe and I were on the outs. I told you we hit a bump in the road, and I was going to start getting out more instead of waiting at home for him. The conversation led Serena to believe that Maria did tell Lisa she and Gabe had broken up. I'm meeting my friend Nico from editing and layouts, Serena announced. When did Nico become my friend? Nico, the gay photographer? Maria asked. Yes, Nico, she said, not liking Maria's description of Nico any more than she did Lisa's. He's sweet. I like him. He's a little quiet and reserved, but overall a nice guy. Nico? Serena asked. She didn't find him quiet or reserved. Well, maybe we can do something tomorrow. I think I'm free, Maria said. Sounds good. I think I'm free too. I'll let you know. Serena said not sure if it was a good idea to renew her friendship with Maria. Talking to Maria made Serena think of Gabe. She called his cell phone. She wasn't surprised when she got his answer machine. She shrugged it off and left a message. Hi, baby, I miss you. Call me when you get this. Let me know what's up tonight. Give me a call when you're free. Love you. She said before hanging up. She didn't call him at work because he said he didn't want his nosy coworkers in his business. Plus, most of the time he was too busy to talk. Time flew by. She was glad she'd set her watch alarm for lunch. If not, she would have worked straight through her lunch date with Nico. Inside the elevator, Serena sang the tune coming from the speakers. Everyone had gotten off on previous floors, leaving her to ride the elevator alone. The moment the doors opened, her eyes landed on Nico. Okay, I'm getting ready to have to end this, ladies. Okay, so I'm getting ready to leave you with a cliffhanger. The moment the doors opened, her eyes landed on Nico. He stood against the wall looking at his phone. If she had a camera, she would have taken his picture. With his nonchalant, manly stance, it could easily make the cover of a high-fashion magazine. Nico looked up and gave her a warm, welcoming smile that made butterflies gather in her belly. And I'm going to stop there because it's late and I'm tired. And my voice is starting to peter out. So, it's free on KU. It's called Closed Eyes Shut. I keep wanting to say Eyes Wide Shut. Closed Eyes Shut. free on Amazon, free on KU with Amazon. And oh, there it is. There's the one I'm looking for. $2.99 to buy. So go get it. You needs to read it. Thank you, Miss Maria, if you're still here. I appreciate that. Thank you, Connie. I appreciate you. I'll remember you next time now, darling. Miss Olivia. Sweetheart, I love that you stay up, that you set your alarm to come and listen to me. It just warms my heart. All righty. Okay. All right, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Brand new week next week. This time, I know that Monday is Labor Day. I thought it was last Monday. I screwed up. But me and Nina's little bit has Monday off. So we don't have to work or go to school. We get to sleep in. So, all right, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful weekend and happy reading.